boy, what a week I have had. Let's just go day by day, I guess. All right. So last week, Sunday, I got to work out on the arc trainer. So that was the only day that I actually worked out on any piece of workout equipment because the rest of the week I was away on my work trip in California. Here's some footage of that. It was a good workout. And then I was all ready to go for Monday. So Monday was a travel day where I was booking it through the airport and sitting on a plane for 6 hours that day. So my workout exercise for that day was actually lugging around all my luggage between terminals and connecting flights. But the funny thing about Monday is, and I didn't know it at the time, that that was going to be my smoothest travel day. I was actually pretty impressed with the flights, so there were no delays. We weren't sitting on the tarmac as soon as I got into the airport, and the plane boarded. We flew for 3 hours, we landed. I had enough time to get breakfast between my flights, and then that next flight boarded. We were in the air in no time, and then we landed. Absolutely no problem at all. That was a perfect day of traveling. I flew with American Airlines, even though the last time I flew with American Airlines was to try to get to Las Vegas for a conference that my husband had, and that went awful. So I swore to never fly with American Airlines again, but they had redeemed themselves on that flight. So the fun thing about losing weight and then being on an airplane is that my seatbelt, the last time that we had gone to Las Vegas, the length that was left over was maybe 2 or 3 inches. Like the seatbelt was almost maxed out. And this time,
relax and enjoy our flight.
I had like a whole foot of seatbelt left over. So it's nice to be able to fit in the seats a lot better. Being so close to not 200 pounds anymore really makes me more of an average size so that I fit into airplane seats a lot more comfortably. So that was nice to see that the seatbelt had gotten a lot less tight and a lot more space in the leftover part of the seatbelt. Monday, once I arrived to California, I went to work for a few hours because of the time change. I basically got there at noon, so I went into work for 3.5 hours. And then after that, I went to the grocery store. I just got all unpacked, put all my groceries away that I just went and got. Just shoved in the mini fridge. That thing is packed. So I got myself just some salads and meat and cheese snacks to kind of eat on for the week while I was there, instead of going out to restaurants and stuff. Then in the evening, I actually went and enjoyed the swimming pool after the grocery store. I wanted to show you guys that now I am ready to swimming. I got my swim dress that I purchased last summer when I was 25 pounds heavier, and I think I look amazing in it. I'm gonna go check out the pool. The hot tub isn't very hot, but at least it works, which is more than I can say for the last couple of hotels I stayed in. The water was warm, but the air temperature with the wind was freezing. So once I got out of the hot tub, which also wasn't very warm, the water was slightly warmer than the pool water, but it was not a hot tub. I had to immediately run upstairs and take a hot shower because I was soaking wet and it was freezing cold with the wind. Then Tuesday. Okay, everyone, I'm walking on my lunch break back home. I'm in California right now. I commented on the beautiful flowers in that field. These are 5 feet tall worth of flowers. And there's little lizards on the walkway. It's like on the side of a boulevard, right next to the airport basically. And it's just unbelievable looking. Let me give you a backdrop. Look at those hills. Looks like a Microsoft Windows background. I had a really nice time at work. We had pizza for lunch. They let me take the leftover pizza back to the hotel room, so I had that for dinner as well. We had half Hawaiian and half combo is what California calls this, not like supreme or anything. But what I wanted to point out was look at how the pizza places slice their pizza. This was like a 20 slice piece pizza. And like all of our pizza places back home, you would get 8 slices, no matter what size pizza you have. So I just think it's really cool that they like slice it so you can have smaller servings. So good job, California. And then I went on a hike to Coyote Hills, and that was beautiful. You probably can't even tell. There's some big rocks. We just walked up that steep hill. It's just beautiful out here. I went the long way to the vista point because that's what happens when I follow the directions. But look at the grass. It's really cool. It's just beautiful. Definitely glad I'm going for a walk. Should I go through the grass? I mean, like, should I go through the grass over to those rocks? Maybe I'll get to the vista overlook and then come back this way and go through the grass over to those rocks because it is super tempting to do it now, just go check out the rocks, but I want to see the viewpoint first, I think. So I'll come back. Taking a breather. This is steep up here. Nice and steep. Making my way up this hill. So I'm not sure if you could tell how steep this is, but took a little break halfway up. The view's already really nice. Let me show you. Oh, good. You can see the steepness. So over there is where I work. And over here is the bay. All right, finishing walking up this hill. Let's go. From down there in the parking lot, I'm not even sure if you can see it, but down there's the parking lot. I came all the way up this hill, and I'm at the top, but not the very top, because this isn't even the vista point yet. But look at how awesome it is to see all of this stuff. This is the San Francisco Bay. Out that way is San Francisco. Not sure if you can see it way in the distance in the clouds, but that's San Francisco. So I'm going to continue walking until I get to the vista point. And my coworker who lives here said in the evenings it gets really windy. I think it's happened now. It is 4:30 here, so it's windy time. But it's pretty nice going on the hike because I'm not hot. I definitely got winded going up that hill though. Wondering if I was gonna see any more animals. And here's some turkeys. Isn't that interesting? They're just hiking and pecking around. There's 4 of them that I can see. I love hiking, it's so exciting. If I see a coyote though, that'll be really fun. Last time I saw a coyote was in the Saguaro National Park in Arizona, and it was like daytime like this. Maybe if I have a clip of it, I'll put it in here. But it was crazy to just see it running around like a little puppy dog. But it was from the van, so we definitely had a vehicle to take shelter in if it decided to attack. So keeping my eyes out for coyotes. Oh my gosh, there's a lizard. Oh, he's running at me. He's a monster lizard. Oh, this place is spectacular. Yeah, so I hope you can see me. I can't actually. Oh yeah, there it is. Can you see me? Hello. Let's say, whoop, I lost my camera. There's people coming on the trail. They probably think I'm waving at them. But yeah, this hike has been amazing. California has been great. I'm still tracking and going for walks. I'm eating less, trying to be mindful. Watch out, lizard. So I'm having a blast here, working. Again, benefits of my new job. I get to travel to California every once in a while. I love it. Definitely glad I went for this hike. I made it to the Vista viewpoint of Coyote Hills. So, gonna give you a panoramic view here. So, I was talking about all this extra footage that I take because I love taking pictures so much, only to come back and pick up the camera and see that it wasn't recording. So at least I don't have this footage to go through. I'm gonna try and record it again. Reenact the moment. There's lizards all over the place. Come here, lizard baby. Let me get your picture. Oh, come back. You're okay, I'm not gonna mess with you. There's another big one. Oh my gosh. Lizards everywhere. All right, so my reenactment was I hiked up here. I took some pictures of the lizards, which is accurate. There's another one. This is so cool. And then I talked about how I just wanted to get this selfie picture with the poppies. So I got my selfie pictures, and there was a lizard right behind my head as I was taking the selfie pictures. So maybe I got him in the picture. I don't know. But then I walked back down without stepping on any lizards. And I picked you up and started recording again. Totally worth the hike. What's really sad though is I have found 2 plastic water bottles up here. kind of like shoved in the rocks. So that's disappointing, especially since last week for Earth Day, my company came here to participate in a trash pickup and nature walk. So it's disappointing to see stuff like this. Water bottle. I'm gonna grab it and take it down with me, because I don't want to leave it here. All right, I'm heading back down. Check out those rocks. Don't like wearing sneakers or hiking boots, so typically just wear my sandals all the time. But maybe given the steepness of these inclines and the loose rocky gravel, they weren't such a good option, because I definitely have slipped a couple times. But anyway, oh my gosh. Now the turkeys have doubled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. Can you see those turkeys? I sent a photo of them to my husband and I said, look, I found little dinosaurs. Mini dinos. I could literally hang out here all day and just let the animals come to me and watch the sunset, but fortunately that's like 4 hours away from now. And I'm not sure if you heard that, but I almost slipped again. But I caught myself, so I didn't fall. But it took a lot of knee strength to hold me up. Oh. Can you tell how steep that is? Definitely have the incorrect footwear on. I like wearing Keens. Sandals, those are good. They don't make it too hot or uncomfortable, and they have really good traction. So I didn't pack them though. But anyway, look at those turkeys. As I was saying. So yeah, I could stay here all day. Wait for, oh my gosh. There's another gaggle of them. They're all coming up from the base of the hill. There's like 7 in that group. That's so cool. They're just hiking up the trail like I am. Yeah, that's awesome. So anyway, I would stay until sunset, but it's like 3 hours away. And the park closes at 8, which is, I think, around the time of sunset. So I don't want to get stuck in here because they definitely lock the gates. And let's see what these turkeys do. And yeah, I don't want to get locked in here and can't get to my hotel. But anyway, I'm going to turn right where those turkeys are and head back down the trail over to those rocks out there. So, are they all male turkeys? They all have like wattle things. That's crazy. So crazy. I'm gonna get attacked by a turkey. These other 4 are all like, I'm not coming out of the grass. Nobody can see us. Look at them, they just look like mini dinosaurs roaming around. Calm as can be. Turkey's really smart too, apparently. So that's awesome. Get to see some turkeys on the horizon. I hope you can see the birds on here. They're really cool. All right, after falling down almost one more time, right in front of somebody coming up the hill, I made it back to the little trail where the rocks are. So I'm gonna go check them out, and then I'm gonna continue back down the trail to check out the little ponds. There's some like cool bridges that you can walk across that I can see from up here. And then I'll head home. So those are the items I want to look at. These rocks and then the little bridges. Ooh, this is tall. I hope that was an interesting perspective. Knee height, walking through the grass. Making it up to the rocks here. That's cool. My shoes weren't meant for hiking through this area. But look at how worth it all is. This gravel is extra rocky. So hopefully I'll be able to make it down. Should be all right. Let's press on. Oh, I didn't even have to go through that little trail. There was a perfectly nice big one right here. Yeah, this is awesome. It's like, are there more turkeys up there? There's so many turkeys. It's a completely different trail. I thought they were people at first because they look so big. Can you see them over there? Top of that ridge? Should call this place Turkey Hill. That's a gas station. I am funny. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna climb these rocks, see what it looks like up that way. Wish me luck. I was hoping I'd be able to go down these stairs down to the visitor center. So I'm gonna go down these stairs, hit up the visitor center, and then go and walk across the bridges down there over the little ponds. So that's the plan. All these steps, they are not quite built to code. They're a little steep and irregular, but at least I get more traction. Well, the visitor center was closed, so I won't be going in there. I did want to maybe get something for the kids. If it was like a shop or something, but I guess it's not. So I'll have to get something else for them. And in case you haven't seen enough turkey footage, here's two more. Right down by the visitor center and restroom. And there's a weird speckled squirrel. And there is a really well-behaved dog. He's like not even fazed by turkeys and squirrels being right here. Wish I had a well-behaved dog like that. Or any dog. So just for some reference, I was up there on the top of that rock a few minutes ago. So I'm walking through the marshland, and these grasses are like as tall as I am. It's kind of cool. To just get to like reach out, touch them. All right, now they're getting lower, but they were really high back there. I burned more than 400 calories on that hike, so that was a lot of really good exercise, especially up the steep inclines to get to the viewpoints. Then on Wednesday, again, was another full day of work. For lunch, we went to a pho restaurant. So I got to have pho. Maybe they pronounce it pho for the first time, and it was really good too. And then after work, I went on another little hike to Half Moon Bay. My plans for this evening, I was debating, was to go to Half Moon Bay, Half Moon Beach, which is an hour away from my hotel. So I'm going to actually eat my dinner first. I was going to take it with me, but it's a salad with chicken breast in it. A trick that I learned from my mom is to get a rotisserie chicken and then like parse it out throughout the week. So you have like 2 ounces of chicken and put it in one of these salads. So that's what I did. So this will be my dinner for tonight. And I was going to take it with me, but since the drive is an hour long, I didn't want to have this like needs refrigerated meal sitting with me for the entire ride. But what is really sad is that I bought 2 of these salad kits and I still have half a rotisserie chicken left, but I leave tomorrow by noon. So I don't know when I'm going to eat all that. So I'm kind of doing that thing again where I am being a garbage disposal because I don't want to waste it. So this is my giant pile of salad here. And it is 530 calories per container. So it's 2.5 servings. A serving is 1 cup, and that would normally only be 200 calories. But since I'm doing that thing where I don't want to let food go to waste, I'm probably going to eat the majority of this pile of salad. That I added chicken to. So it's actually higher in calories, but I would track the 530 calories and then add the 4 ounces of chicken that I loaded the salad up with. But so anyway, I'm gonna sit here, eat my dinner, and then I'm probably gonna head to the beach. So hopefully you'll see some cool footage of me getting some exercise on the beach. Made it to the beach, the Half Moon Bay beach, which isn't really a bay at all. I mean, I guess it is down there, but that's just the ocean out there. And I'll show you in a minute. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'm gonna go walk along the beach. I'm gonna try to get my 10,000 steps for today. And yeah, so that drive was worth it. The parking here is $10 and it's only open until 8 o'clock and it is 6:41 right now. So that's fine. But I don't think that the trip to the beach is going to be all that exciting. I bet it would be beautiful if it was sunny out right now. I mean, it's still really pretty. Like all the beach flowers here in the picnic area. Maybe go down that creek here. I think this is more of a path. All right, we've got some very loose sand. So this may make walking too far very difficult. But I'm going to try to make it down all the way to that palm tree thing down there. So I'm going to take off the sandals and probably try walking on the wet sand. See if that's better. It is chilly out here though. Like lots of people are all covered up and wearing puffy jackets and stuff. I was not expecting that. Such a crazy temperature difference just in 30 miles of driving out here. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Getting my 5,000 steps that I need for the day. All right, well, I made it as close as I'm going to get to the tree line that I wanted to get to. And I thought that there would be like steps up to the bathhouse from here. But instead, and there might be actually, but instead of just some sand to go across, the bathhouse is right there, but there's like a little pond I'd have to walk across to get over there. So hopefully right where that bench is, there's like a way to get up to the bathroom. Or, you know, me and these ducks are gonna be walking together to get up there. Hopefully there's nothing creepy crawly in this water. It looks pretty marshy. but I'm gonna give it a try, see how far I can get to over there to the bathhouse, and then walk back on the road so it doesn't take me as long, because the park closes at 8 and it's like 7:13 right now. So I came all the way from that other bathhouse down there, and yeah, no, way down there. I can't even see the bathhouse I came from. Yeah, so I need to get moving. I did it. I crossed the creepy water. It was about mid-calf deep and freezing cold. Spoiler alert, the bathrooms were not open. So now I am walking back on the coastal trail a mile to get to the place where I parked, use those bathrooms, and then head back on the very scenic route to the hotel. But this place is awesome. I could totally live out here, be happy and healthy, and just enjoying nature in all sorts of different ways. It's crazy. So yeah, definitely feeling good and healthy. Here's my haul from my beach walk. This is some wood, redwood, that was like roughened up by the water. I'm interested to see what that looks like when it's dry. And then I got some pebbles with holes in them from the sand. It's like clearly see through it, so that's pretty cool. And then I got this neat seashell, scallop shell, and then various colors of sea glass. So these are like the cyan colored glass when they're wet, and then green, brown, and white. So that's my beach combing haul. I'm gonna give those to the kids as their souvenirs from this trip. And that was a nice hike too. Like everything was really beautiful, and the drive over there was just insane. And even with the cloudiness and the temperature change, it was totally worth getting to walk on that beach and find my little souvenirs. So those were my two big hiking trips that I did while I was there, Coyote Hills, and then just walking on the beach, Half Moon Bay. Thursday, I was supposed to fly home, but in true fashion of my experience with American Airlines, they messed everything up. So Thursday morning, I went into work for an hour or two. I finished things up before I left. My flight was supposed to leave at 12. So I left work at 9 because of the traffic to drive out there, return the rental car, and all that kind of stuff. I was supposed to leave at 12. The flight got delayed, and then they just canceled it. They canceled the entire flight. So because of a toilet maintenance issue, toilet wasn't working or something. So I worked on getting my flight rescheduled, the earliest that they could get me home. So the earliest that they could get me home was 11:30 Friday night. And I needed to be home before then on Friday. Like I have plans for Friday. I needed to be home for them. So I worked it out that I was going to leave, unfortunately, at like 6 in the morning the next day. I was going to fly into Washington, D.C. at like 3:30, and then I was going to drive home from Washington, D.C. So then I would at least be home by like 5 in the afternoon on Friday. That was all with American Airlines. They gave me a hotel voucher, so I walked from the airline all the way to the hotel, which was a mile away. All right, I'm getting in more exercise than I was anticipating today. I was supposed to be on a plane for 6 hours, but instead the flight got canceled. So now I'm walking a mile to the airport, to the hotel that the airport paid for me to stay in overnight, because my next flight won't leave until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that sucks. But look at this neat little stream area here. Isn't that pretty? Carrying all of my luggage, which was my workout for the day. That was a long, hot walk. I made it to my second hotel of this trip that I wasn't planning on. And this room has a nice little patio that overlooks the swimming pool, which I am going to go get into right now. Change of plans. Back at the airport instead of swimming in the pool. I got a flight that leaves at 6 p.m. instead of 6 a.m. So I'll be able to get home early tomorrow morning. Win! And then once I got to the hotel, I thought a little bit more about it, and I was like, okay, so I I was working with American Airlines. There was not a single flight from San Jose, from San Francisco to Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. that would leave on Thursday to try to get me home earlier for Friday. Not a single seat was available. So then I was thinking more about it and I was like, well, that's just American Airlines. I'm going to look for different airlines. So United was able to get me on a plane at 6 p.m. and it still flew into Baltimore, but it flew into Baltimore at like 5 a.m. in the morning on Friday. So then from Baltimore, I drove home. And then I was able to get home early enough to do all the stuff that I needed to do on Friday. But that meant I didn't sleep at all. I tried to sleep on the plane and that did not work. So I basically spent 24 hours getting no sleep and returning rental cars and driving back and forth between airports and my house and all that kind of stuff. But the reason why I needed to get home on Friday was so that we could make this big purchase. And now for something unexpected. And now that we have our camper, we want to take it down to our boathouse so that we actually have a more comfortable place to sleep, shower. All of it will be in air conditioning, which we don't currently have a good setup for air conditioning when we are out on the boat or at our campground, and now we will. So we tried to take it to the campground on Saturday, but apparently we didn't follow the correct process to get it into the campground. Like it needs to have a permit or something approved from a work order. I don't know. So we show up there, and my exercise for that day was they wouldn't let us bring it into the campground, but they let us park there. And I walked from the entrance of our campground to our site and back just so that I can measure and make sure that it was actually going to fit without us having to do any type of structural in different things for our pavilion that we have. So that was my exercise for that day. It was a nice long walk. It was a crazy week. Every day I got more than 10,000 steps, so that's really good. I was walking a lot, I was being really active. Logging my food, I logged everything, but on most days I did not have that 1,000 calorie deficit or 500 calorie deficit for the day. So all of my food bars are still red for the week. Which isn't good. So I think that as I'm losing weight, I'm not burning as many calories. So I kind of need to start eating less because even being more active, the difference isn't adding up. But drum roll, please. I am at 209.4 today. So I am down from the 211 that I was last week where I gained weight back. And I am less than the 209 that I was the previous week, but I am not into the 207 or 208 that I was hoping to be for this week. But I didn't gain anything on my whole trip where I ate more calories than I should have. I'm still in a deficit, so that's good to show that I am still losing weight. But I think for the next week, I'm going to try to cut my calorie intake by like 200 calories a day. So then I can definitely get into that 207, 208. It seems like I'm kind of in a plateau right now. So doing that should kind of shake things up a little bit and make me lose weight again. And then this week should be relatively normal where I just go to work and I come home. So I'll definitely be hitting the arc trainer a lot more, which I burn 500 calories every time I do that. So that also significantly helps with that deficit. So those are my plans. My week was crazy. I really, really loved going out to California. It was beautiful and exciting, and I loved walking around and doing all the hikes that I did. So there's still plenty of stuff to do for when I go out there again at the end of July for work. So I have a list of things that I'm going to do that time. And then I'll probably go out after that trip in July 2 more times for the year. And I hope to kind of bring my family along for one of them because, you know, why not? It's a free hotel that they can stay at. So we'll see if I end up doing that. But for the next week, it's just normal. And I'm excited to get my weekly recap from Fitbit where it shows 10,000 steps being met like every day for the week. So I get green stars all across the top there. But for the previous week, here is the graph for that. I'm excited to see it get better next week, I think, because I'll definitely have had more steps and burnt more calories, but it's still good. That's my information for this week. I hope you enjoyed the footage of all the hiking that I did in California. Um, and yeah, so enjoy. See you next week, and thanks for watching.